The heart of wildfire season has arrived across the West. Last year was a destructive year for wildfires. We witnessed the largest wildfire in state history, the Martin Fire. And in California, 2018 became the deadliest and most destructive fire season to date. Our Weather Authority team and Sinclair sister stations have worked to provide you with this special report, Living with Wildfire. We start first by looking back. The Martin Fire, what has been done in the past year? The Little Valley Fire, what are the results from the trial and the Camp Fire? How is the community of Paradise pushing forward? Meteorologist Dwayne Macy has a look at the recovery process.
Here in Nevada, following the Martin Fire outside of Winnemucca last year, efforts are being made to revitalize the land that burned more than 439,000 acres. Numerous volunteers have helped by planting sagebrush seedlings in the burned area. The project started on November 5th of last year when the BLM picked up more than 40,000 of those sagebrush seedlings from the Boise National Forest Lucky Peak Nursery in Boise, Idaho. And even more recently, after almost 3 years since the Little Valley Fire broke out in Washoe Valley, a settlement was approved by the State Board of Examiners totaling $25 million. $18 million of that will go to the victims of the fire, and the settlement is a culmination of a long legal battle on behalf of 23 victims who lost their homes and property in the October 2016 blaze. And the rebuilding process is still underway following last year's Camp Fire, which was the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in California's history, with 85 deaths and more than 18,000 structures destroyed. The fire was caused by electrical transmission lines owned and operated by Pacific Gas and Electric. PG&E says they will pay $1 billion in a settlement regarding the Camp Fire, as well as others throughout the state. According to Cal Recycle, as of May 2019, about 17% of burned properties have been cleared by disaster teams, and the Paradise Town Planning Division says 40 people have applied for permits to rebuild and 8 have been issued at last check. And in the midst of the devastating Camp Fire in Paradise, California, a fire that saw 900 of the 980 students from Paradise High lose everything. Seniors held their graduation at their school on June 6th. Following the fire, classes were held in Chico, California, but students returned to their school to flip their tassels.
So why are fires becoming increasingly dangerous? Wildfires in the United States burn more than twice the area they did in 1970, and the average wildfire season is now 78 days longer. Research shows that there's a new element to wildfire season that's causing this concern: climate change. It's turning simple fires into runaway trains of disaster.
So I think the trends are really clear that fires are getting larger, they're getting more destructive, and they're getting more damaging. And so we have to adjust accordingly to be able to respond to that.
Chris Anthony has been with Cal Fire for 23 years and says he's never witnessed a fire season in California like the one he worked in 2018.
But what I've really seen over the last couple decades is a shift in those fires more in the northern part of the state. And these fires are becoming a lot more aggressive, and the resistance to control is much greater as well.
But climate change isn't just expanding the extent of wildfires, it's also expanding the season.
As our fire season becomes longer, and this is one of the things that folks don't really understand. They just think that fire season is getting longer. Well, what happens is fire season is now extending into the spring and into the fall, and that's when we get our wind events, our high wind events.
The excessive heat and extreme fire behavior has already begun to create new fire weather patterns like fire tornadoes.
There were firefighters that were on the Carr fire that saw that fire tornado in a way that they've never seen before. You know, we're talking about seasoned firefighters who've been working for, 30 plus years that have never seen anything like that before.
Fire crews and first responders are now dealing with more uncertainty on the job than ever before.
It's just maintaining that situational awareness and being aware that, fire is doing things that we typically haven't seen it do.
And it doesn't have to be a loud threat like a fire tornado. It's the silent threats like warmer overnight temperatures that are actually creating a larger concern.
Minimum temperatures are warmer. That means that there's drier conditions overnight, and that has a direct effect on the vegetation here on the valley floor and in the mountains surrounding, creating a recipe for explosive fires.
While climate change may be a global problem, there are some local solutions that can help our communities better adapt to this new normal of wildfire.
And that really starts at the community level and working with people so that they do their defensible space around their homes. And then it's incumbent on us to implement those fuels reduction projects in the wildland urban interface, which are those areas around the communities, and then go further out into the landscape to do forest health and resilient projects. But we know that the risk is here.
We are heading into uncharted territory when it comes to wildfires due to our climate crisis. So now more than ever, defensible space and taking the time to make sure that you're prepared is important. You can find tips on how to prepare your property and community on our website, mynews4.com. New this fire season, you might lose power in the coming months due to fire weather concerns. NV Energy says because of an increase in the risk of wildfires in the Lake Tahoe Basin, they may shut off power in extreme risk areas in order to stop power lines and other equipment from causing blazes. Potential areas include the Nevada side of the basin and NV Energy's Northern California transmission space. Officials with the utility say the change is necessary.
See conditions are met in a specific area, that be it temperature, fuel dryness, soil dryness, and enough risk in that area, we will proactively de-energize in that area.
The power impacts could be on a case-by-case basis. And NV Energy is also planning on replacing wooden power poles with metal ones and installing wildfire alert cameras in high-risk areas. How are firefighters preparing for the fire season? We head into the hills for an inside look at their training on the other side of this break.